The water exploded as Nia Okafor pushed herself off the wall. Her arms burned, her lungs screamed for air, but she refused to slow down. One more lap. Just one more. The pool was empty, except for the quiet echo of her strokes. Most swimmers had already left practice hours ago. But Nia stayed. Again. And again. Because every second mattered now. Coach Park's announcement about the regional championship had changed everything. Only 3 swimmers from Hanseong Academy would represent the school. And everyone already knew 2 of those spots were practically guaranteed. Kai Jinwoo and Yuna Park. The 3rd spot. That was the battlefield. And Nia intended to win it. She finished the lap and grabbed the edge of the pool, breathing hard. You'll collapse if you keep training like that. Nia turned. Kai Jinwoo stood near the pool entrance. She pushed wet hair from her face. You're back again. Kai shrugged. You're not the only one who trains late. Nia pulled herself out of the water and sat on the edge. Kai tossed her a towel. You improved today. Coach said 3 seconds. Kai nodded. That's not normal improvement. Nia smiled slightly. My father always said limits are just excuses. Kai studied her quietly. Then he asked, why do you want that 3rd spot so badly? Nia looked at the water. Because if I don't take it, I go home. Kai frowned. Coach Park would never send you home. Nia shook her head. My scholarship depends on performance. Kai's expression hardened. So if you don't win, I lose everything. Silence filled the pool room. Kai finally nodded slowly. Then you'd better get faster. Nia laughed softly. That's the plan. But neither of them noticed the shadow near the doorway. Yuna Park stood just outside the pool area. Listening. Her jaw tightened. So that's it, she whispered to herself. She needs that spot. Yuna turned and walked down the hallway quickly. Her heels echoed sharply on the floor. A few minutes later, she found Jisoo and Ara sitting in the dorm lounge. Jisoo looked up. You look angry. Ara leaned forward. What happened? Yuna crossed her arms. That scholarship girl. Nia, Jisoo asked. Yes. Ara rolled her eyes. What about her now? Yuna's voice was cold. She's competing for the 3rd championship spot. Jisoo shrugged. So? Yuna glared. So if she wins it, she becomes important. Ara smirked. And we can't have that. Jisoo leaned back on the couch. So what's the plan? Yuna's smile slowly returned. Oh, I have one. The next morning, the academy buzzed with tension. Swimmers gathered near the pool for speed drills. Coach Park stood with his clipboard. Today we test sprint times. The swimmers immediately focused. These times would determine who had the best chance at the championship. Kai stood near lane 4. Yuna beside him. Nia quietly took lane 6. Coach Park blew the whistle. 50 meters, maximum speed. The swimmers stepped onto the starting blocks. Ready. Silence fell over the pool. Go. Splash. The water exploded with motion. Kai surged ahead instantly. Yuna followed close behind. Nia pushed with everything she had. Her muscles fired. Her body cut through the water. Touch. The swimmers reached the wall. Coach Park checked the times. Kai Jinwoo first. No surprise. Yuna Park second. Again expected. Then he looked up. Nia Okafor third. The swimmers murmured. But what shocked them wasn't the ranking. It was the time. Jisoo leaned over the railing. Wait, that's faster than yesterday. Ara frowned. She's getting better every day. Yuna clenched her jaw. Coach Park nodded approvingly. Good progress, Nia. But as the swimmers climbed out of the pool, Yuna walked toward her slowly. You're working very hard, Yuna said. Nia wiped water from her face. Yes. Yuna smiled. That must be exhausting. Nia shrugged. Worth it. Yuna stepped closer. Just remember something. What? Yuna's voice dropped. Some people here don't like surprises. Nia stared at her calmly. I didn't come here to make people comfortable. Yuna's smile vanished. We'll see how long that confidence lasts. Later that afternoon, the team gathered for endurance training. Coach Park stood by the pool again. 200 meters, timed. The swimmers groaned. Long races required both speed and stamina. Perfect for exposing weaknesses. Start. The race began. Kai maintained perfect rhythm. Yuna stayed close. Nia pushed herself hard. But halfway through the race, something felt wrong. Her arms felt heavier than usual. Her breathing became uneven. Her vision blurred slightly. What? She slowed down. Kai and Yuna pulled ahead. Nia struggled to keep pace. The finish came quickly. Kai touched first. Yuna second. Nia third again. But this time far behind. Coach Park frowned. Nia, what happened? Nia climbed out slowly. I don't know. Her legs felt weak. The swimmers whispered. She looked tired. Maybe yesterday's training was too much. Yuna hid a small smile. After practice, Nia sat alone on the bench. Her body felt strangely drained. Kai approached. You were slower today. Nia nodded. I know. You're overtraining. Maybe. Kai shook his head. No, something else. Nia looked at him. What do you mean? Kai shrugged. You don't suddenly lose stamina like that. Nia didn't answer. But deep down, she felt something wasn't right. That night, she collapsed onto her dorm bed. Her muscles throbbed. Her head spun. Something was wrong. But she couldn't figure out what. Across campus, Yuna sat in the dorm lounge with Jisoo and Ara again. Jisoo grinned. So? Yuna smirked. Did you see her during the endurance race? Ara nodded slowly. She looked terrible. Yuna leaned back comfortably. That's because she drank the electrolyte mix I prepared for her. Jisoo blinked. You tampered with it. Yuna shrugged casually. Nothing dangerous. Ara laughed. Just enough to ruin her stamina. Jisoo clapped softly. That's evil. Yuna smiled proudly. She wants the championship spot. Ara leaned forward. And now? Yuna's eyes gleamed. Now she loses it. Meanwhile, back in the dorm room, Nia stared at the ceiling. Her father's voice echoed in her mind again. Pain ends. Pride lasts forever. She clenched her fists. No, she whispered. I'm not giving up. The next morning, she woke up before sunrise again. Her body still felt weak. But she forced herself out of bed. The pool lights flickered on. Nia stepped to the edge. Then she dove. Splash. Lap after lap. Even slower. Even tired. She kept swimming. Because no matter what happened, she refused to quit. And somewhere behind her, Kai Jinwoo stood silently watching. His expression thoughtful. Because he had started noticing something strange. Nia Okafor was the hardest worker in the academy. So why? Was she suddenly getting weaker? If you're enjoying this episode so far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because the truth behind Nia's sudden weakness is about to explode. And when it does, someone at Hanseong Academy will be exposed. But the question is, will it happen before Nia loses her chance at the championship? The following morning, Nia arrived at the aquatic center earlier than ever. Her body still felt heavy, but she forced herself into the water again. Stroke, kick, breathe. Halfway through her training session, Kai entered the pool building. He watched her quietly for several minutes. Then he spoke. "You're still slower." Nia stopped at the wall. "I know." Kai crouched near the pool. "You didn't answer my question yesterday." "What question?" "Why you suddenly lost stamina." Nia sighed. "I don't know." Kai thought for a moment. "Did you eat normally yesterday?" "Yes." "Drink enough water?" "Yes." Kai frowned. Then something doesn't add up. Nia pulled herself out of the pool. "What are you thinking?" Kai stood up slowly. "I think someone is trying to sabotage you." Nia stared at him. "That's ridiculous." Kai crossed his arms. "You're the biggest threat for the third championship spot." Nia shook her head. "No one would go that far." Kai looked directly at her. "You're new here." Nia stayed silent. Kai grabbed his bag. "Just be careful." As he walked away, Nia stood there thinking. Could someone really be trying to stop her? Later that day during lunch, the cafeteria buzzed with conversation. Students talked about the upcoming championship trials. Jisoo and Ara sat across from Yuna. Ara whispered, "What if she finds out?" Yuna rolled her eyes. "She won't." Jisoo leaned closer. "And if she does?" Yuna smirked. "Then she'll have to prove it." Across the cafeteria, Nia sat alone again. She stared at her drink for a moment. Then suddenly, she remembered something. Yesterday, before the endurance race, her water bottle had been missing from her locker for a few minutes. Her heart skipped. Wait, could Kai be right? Nia slowly looked across the cafeteria. Her eyes landed on Yuna. The girl was laughing confidently with her friends. But when their eyes met, Yuna's smile slowly faded. For a brief moment, the truth was visible, and Nia understood something very important. This academy wasn't just about swimming. It was a battlefield, and if she wanted to survive here, she would have to fight back. If you're ready for episode 3, get ready. Because the war between Nia and Yuna is about to begin. And the next race will change everything. The cafeteria suddenly felt very quiet to Nia. Even though dozens of students were talking around her, the only thing she could hear was the echo of Kai Jinwoo's warning. Someone is trying to sabotage you. Her eyes stayed fixed on Yuna Park across the room. Yuna was laughing with Jisoo and Ara, but something about that smile didn't feel natural anymore. For the first time since arriving at Hanseong Academy, Nia understood something clearly. This wasn't just competition. It was war. She slowly lowered her eyes back to her tray. Stay calm, she told herself. Back home in Ghana, her father always said something important. If you react too fast, you lose the chance to see the truth. So Nia stayed quiet. She finished her lunch and left the cafeteria without saying a word. But someone followed her. Nia. She turned. Kai Jinwoo stood behind her in the hallway. You look like you're thinking too much, he said. Nia crossed her arms. You might be right about something. Kai raised an eyebrow. Oh. My water bottle yesterday. It disappeared before practice. Kai's eyes sharpened. And it was back in my locker 5 minutes later. Kai nodded slowly. That confirms it. Nia looked at him. Confirms what? That someone is messing with you. Nia hesitated. I think I know who. Kai glanced toward the cafeteria doors. Yuna. Nia didn't answer. She didn't need to. Kai sighed quietly. Then you have a bigger problem than just swimming. Nia's voice stayed calm. I didn't come here to fight with people. Kai shrugged. They started it. Nia looked toward the pool building. Then I'll finish it in the water. Kai smiled slightly. That's the best way. That afternoon, Coach Park gathered the entire swim team near the pool. The atmosphere felt tense. Everyone knew something important was coming. Coach Park looked around the group. The regional championship trials will be held in 3 days. Whispers immediately spread. 3 days. Only 3 days left. Coach Park continued. These trials will determine who represents Hanseong Academy. He raised 3 fingers. 3 swimmers. Everyone already knew the first name. Kai Jinwoo. The second was almost guaranteed. Yuna Park. That left 1 spot. And at least 6 swimmers wanted it. Coach Park pointed toward the pool. We begin trial simulations today. The swimmers moved toward the starting blocks. Nia took lane 5 again. Yuna stood in lane 4. Kai stood silently near lane 6. Coach Park raised his whistle. 200 meters. The swimmers took their positions. Ready. The room fell silent. Go. Splash. The race began. Kai moved through the water like a machine. Perfect strokes. Perfect rhythm. Yuna pushed hard beside him. Nia stayed just behind. But this time, her body felt stronger. Her breathing steady. Because today she brought her own sealed bottle. Halfway through the race, something shocking happened. Nia accelerated. Her arms moved faster. Her kicks grew stronger. Students watching from the bleachers leaned forward. Wait, she's catching up. Jisoo frowned. That's impossible. Ara looked worried. Didn't you? Yuna's eyes widened as Nia pulled closer. The final lap arrived. Kai still led. But Nia surged forward beside Yuna. The gap disappeared. Touch. The race ended. Kai finished first. But when Coach Park checked the board, the entire room gasped. Second place, Nia Okafor. Third place, Yuna Park. For the first time since arriving at Hanseong Academy, Nia had beaten Yuna. The silence in the pool room was deafening. Students whispered, "She beat her. Did you see that? That Ghana girl is insane." Yuna climbed out of the pool slowly. Her face was pale with anger. She walked toward Nia. "You think you're clever." Nia wiped water from her eyes. "I think I swam." Yuna leaned closer. "You think winning once makes you special." Nia met her gaze calmly. "No." Yuna smirked. "Good." Then her voice dropped to a whisper. "Because the real race hasn't started yet." She walked away. But the damage was already done. The entire team had seen it. Nia was no longer just a scholarship swimmer. She was a real threat. That evening, the rumors spread across the academy. Students gathered in dorm lounges discussing the race. "I heard Nia beat Yuna." "No way." "It's true." "What about the championship trials?" "Now it's unpredictable." Meanwhile, Nia sat alone in the aquatic center again. She was stretching beside the pool when Coach Park approached. "You surprised everyone today," he said. Nia looked up. "I surprised myself." Coach Park nodded. "That's good." Nia hesitated. "Coach, can I ask something?" "Yes." "If someone sabotages another swimmer, what happens?" Coach Park's expression hardened. "They are expelled immediately." Nia stayed quiet. Coach Park studied her. "Why do you ask?" Nia shook her head. "Just curious." Coach Park nodded slowly. "Focus on your race, Nia." "I will." Later that night, Yuna sat in her dorm room staring at her phone. Her anger was obvious. Jisoo and Ara sat nearby. Jisoo sighed. "You didn't expect that." Yuna clenched her jaw. She must have figured it out. Ara frowned. "What do we do now?" Yuna slowly stood up. Her eyes burned with determination. "If she wants the championship spot." Ara leaned forward. "Yes." Yuna smiled coldly. "Then we take away her chance to swim." The next morning, the academy pool buzzed with excitement again. Students gathered to watch practice. Everyone wanted to see the rivalry now. Nia arrived early as usual. She placed her bag near the lockers and began stretching. But when she opened her locker, her heart dropped. Her racing swimsuit was gone. She searched the locker again. Nothing. No. Without that suit, she couldn't participate in the trials properly. Her hands trembled. Someone had taken it. Across the pool deck, Yuna watched quietly. A small smile formed on her lips. But before Nia could panic, a voice spoke behind her. "You're looking for this." She turned. Kai Jinwoo held up the missing swimsuit. Nia blinked. "Where did you find it?" Kai pointed toward the trash bin near the lockers. "Someone tried to throw it away." Nia's eyes widened. Kai handed it to her. "You have enemies." Nia took the suit slowly. "Yes." Kai crossed his arms. "But they're getting desperate." Nia looked across the pool. Yuna quickly looked away. But it was enough. The truth was clear. Nia smiled slightly. "Good." Kai raised an eyebrow. "Good." Nia nodded. "Because desperate opponents make mistakes." Kai chuckled softly. "You're dangerous." Nia turned toward the pool. "No." She adjusted her goggles. "I'm determined." The whistle blew for practice. Swimmers stepped onto the starting blocks. And as Nia dove into the water, everyone watching could feel it. Something had changed. The girl who arrived at Hanseong Academy on a rusty bicycle was no longer the outsider. She was becoming the storm. And in just 2 days, the championship trials would begin. The question was no longer whether Nia could compete. The real question now was this: could anyone stop her? If you're enjoying Nia's story so far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments. Do you think Nia will defeat Yuna completely in the